Once again, Top Car give me something to look at. This time it's the Volkswagen Touran facelift. 2014 model. It's the 2-litre TDI Blue Motion. And yeah, you could argue it's a little bit boring, but I gotta cover something, you know. This one's around 140 horsepower and costs $11,995 at time of video.
Well, sitting in here feels pretty much like a Golf or a Passat. There doesn't seem to be much difference, but that homogeneity is kind of a Volkswagen thing by now. We're kind of used to that. Yeah, it drives very much like a new shape Golf. Only the seating position is a bit weirder. Steering soft and light. Throttle's responsive. Clutch is a little stiff, but in a good way. Volkswagen have got this knocked to the point where it feels ordinary now. The steering column does not adjust outwards. It only goes up and down. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's see if this seat has any more adjustment in it. Oh, that's as low as it goes? Okay, that's disappointing as well. Right, okay, well, there's no point in forward and back because I'm adjusted to the pedals. But now my arm's nearly fully outstretched. Not ideal.
The Touran's a very popular 7-seat in the UK market, and you can start to see why. It's small platform, the fact that it drives incredibly well. Okay, it's very bland in terms of styling. It has been given a full restyle front and rear, but when it comes to Volkswagen, they really just changed the front and tail lights and not much else. I guess Volkswagen's philosophy with the Touran is quite simply, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. I can't say I'm a big fan of the colour, and diamond cut wheels was probably not the best option for small families that really do school runs and don't care too much whether they curb wheels or not.
This thing's bristling with sensors. You've got your front, your side and your rear proximity sensors for when you stick it into reverse. This thing beeps at you all the time when you're in reverse practically. It gives you a little visual readout on the screen, but there's no 360 parking camera, obviously. This is a Touran. You're not going to expect that sort of thing in something at this price point. So let's get to this interior then, shall we? It's very much what you'd expect from a Volkswagen. It does have the nice black trim across here, which I do like. But otherwise it's quite plain, but Volkswagen tend to do that. And obviously the front ones match pretty well. I will give them that. These door cards are very spacious, with plenty of space in them. And there's just enough chrome to make it interesting. The seat itself is, well, it's all manual, but at least it has plenty of adjustment. The only thing I'm concerned about here is the cloth on the outside and the kind of suede-ish stuff on the inside. I can see that getting dirty really fast. As soon as I saw that, I felt, oh, what have they done here? Obviously, auto headlights, the standard Volkswagen steering wheel with the buttons on it that works so well in so many cars. The center dials, again, very legible like most Volkswagens, and it does have the little display in there, which is also quite good. The dashboard itself has the pretty much standard Volkswagen equipment that you would expect. The climate control unit there has been upgraded slightly from the older model. So the display actually looks much better, I think. The stereo itself is the usual Volkswagen style, but I am impressed with the functionality on this one. It has everything you'd expect, including DAB. This little storage area up here, it's quite good, all right, I'll give it that, because I always liked vans that had that. And down here, you can't really use that space effectively because of the way they put the buttons in there. So that's kind of unfortunate. The ashtray itself, I mean, well, if you can call it an ashtray these days, it's interesting the way it pulls down and then drops down. And the color, well, okay. 12-volt socket. Gear lever's fine. Traditional handbrake, that's quite a surprise. I expected an e-brake. And the 2 cup holders, which are okay. Back to the little storage area back here, and it's fine. And it does have its auxiliary, but no USB. Glove box is a little small, but I guess you could fit what you needed in it. and obviously that's where the airbag off switch is. But yeah, no USB port, which I was very surprised. This by accident thinking it was the fuse box, but no, it's another little storage area, and it's quite good size. I'm impressed. Well done, Volkswagen, you impressed me with something different. Ah, another surprise for me. What's this? Tables? Alright, I could be doing with that. Very nice, very nice. This is the Touran, not the Touran. I was expecting less legroom, so that's rather good. That's a nice, pleasant surprise. And then in the back center console, you'll notice a 12-volt socket and a single cup holder, which looks like it would be very fragile. Seats themselves are ISOFIX compliant, and they actually look more comfortable than the seats in the Mark 1, but not by much. Well, it didn't do too bad with the Touran. Okay, it's got a little aftermarket bit here, which is very handy when you've got all the seats up. There's a little storage area under there, which is quite good. There's a 12-volt socket back here on this side, and the seats are really easy to go up and down. One, grab the tab on the other side, and two. And they click in perfectly every time, which is great. We're going to take that piece out in just a second. There is a storage area on one side, and the whole thing comes out, probably for cleaning purposes. It just feels a little too flimsy though. I think that's the unfortunate takeaway from that. And it does clip back in just fine. Now, typical to what you'd expect for most Volkswagens, including the Passat and various others, push in on one side and the whole piece comes out fine. It does clip back in nice and easy too. We'll go over the seats next. There are two very important tags you have to remember on these: the grey tag on the outside and the red tag on the back. Also, as I found out, this seat has to be exactly all the way back before you can open it. So I wonder about the legroom of the people in the final row. And again, it's a Touran, so it's the smaller of the 7-seaters that Volkswagen do, and it's supposed to be just about adequate. So you pull the grey one, that puts down, then you grab the red one on the back, you pull and you lift. And that seat can come completely out by pulling those tabs over here. And it's quite light. It does have a grab handle on the top, so it's a lot better than the older Tourans from the 90s, if you remember those. And I'm not quite sure why that's there. I'm sure there's a good reason. If I read the manual, I'd probably know, but men don't read instructions. The legroom back here is not good. I would not like to be stuck in here for more than 30 miles. Another interesting thing back here is the fact the seatbelt is in the ceiling. Now this is quite common on Euro spec cars now, but it's not common on all vehicles. And one of the things that I wonder is why they couldn't have just integrated the seatbelts into the seat itself. Headrests are interesting with a solid back, and you push the button and the piece rolls forward and back. Okay. Get to something interesting. Again, Volkswagen makes absolute short work of Nissan when it comes to interior lighting. You get one right at the back, one in the middle, and you get an expansive storage system and a front dome light. Okay, Nissan really need to learn a few things. This back one is quite uniquely shaped. I'm not sure quite why it is that shape. Maybe there's some accessories that are missing, like a torch. There's a further one at the front here that's quite large, and right, okay, that's where the interface is for the USB. I did wonder. It actually looks like an iPod one to me. So Volkswagen have done it again. The Touran is a really good example of what a 7-seat should roughly be. I mean, the price point is excellent. It's got a few premium features that you would expect from something above this class, and otherwise I can't really fault it at all, other than to say it's maybe not all that interesting. But then again, you know, if you want a good practical 7-seater, are you really looking for interesting? Most people won't. Most people are looking for something that gets good mile per gallon, you can actually fit people in respectably, and isn't too expensive, so it does that job perfectly well. Another win for Volkswagen, I guess.
I know I've been covering a lot of Volkswagen cars lately, and it might be getting a little bit boring, but here's the truth. I mean, I'm interested in the used market more than the new market, and the used market is full of used Volkswagens that are generally in good condition and drive pretty damn well. So I'm kind of stumped at this point, you know. I'm going to be doing a lot of Volkswagen cars. I'm just going to have to face it. But yeah, anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed this one. I know it's a little boring, me going through the usual Volkswagen stuff, but hopefully you enjoyed it enough. If you want to check out some of the other Volkswagen models we have done, I've shown them up on the screen just now. And, well, anyway, hopefully we'll have something a bit more interesting on the next video. So I look forward to making that for you. But anyway, until next time, look after yourselves. All right.